Hey everybody, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. And for this video, we are going to be covering Cable issue number 7. And I have to say that I really did enjoy this issue, but I am left wondering, when exactly is it taking place? Because right now in the sword line, Cable is on the sword and running security for it. And not only that, we see him turned into a symbiote by the god known as Null, the god of the void, the god of the symbiotes. But more or less, this one feels like it's picking up directly after the events of Ten of Swords. So it places it somewhere between Ten of Swords and King in Black. And Cable has some unfinished business. He needs to finish rescuing all the kidnapped mutant babies that the Order of the X has been kidnapping. Now, before we get into this one, I wanted to let all of you know that I've decided to partner up with a comic book store here locally. And I'm doing this in the hopes that more people get out there and go shop at local comic book stores to help keep them running. And I've partnered up with Rogue City Comics, which is out of Medford, Oregon. They're a great family-oriented, very knowledgeable in Marvel, DC, and indie comics. I highly recommend that you go check them out. Let them know that Comic Breakdown sent you over their way. I'll leave a link to their website down in the description so you can check them out for yourselves. And with that being said, let's dive into this issue. Now, this issue opens us up on the beaches of Krakoa, and we see the swords Grasscutter and Godkiller planted in the sand, waiting for their fallen master to return. Someone that's never going to return again. And we see as a few friends sit and watch the sunset and remember Gorgon. But Cable has work to do, because there's still close to a dozen kidnapped mutant babies somewhere out there, and he's not gonna fail them. He refuses to fail them. And this is when he goes through one of the Krakoan gates and meets up with his sister Rachel. And they've decided to team up to go find these babies. And they head through the portal to head to Philadelphia, where they meet up with two of Philly's detectives. And without wasting much time, Rachel immediately starts using her powers to figure out exactly where these children were taken. And only after what seems to be 10 or 20 seconds, she's already got the location. It's at a mansion a few hours north, someplace hidden in the woods. And so the detectives, Cable and Rachel, all hop in the car and head up there. And getting up to the house, she uses her powers and she lets everybody see what's happening inside. And seeing the mutant children, Cable wastes no time. And he goes in, using his powers and guns blazing, taking out all of these religious zealots. All these people claiming to worship mutants. And as he makes his way through this building, he gets to a room where the cult leader is. And they're threatening to kill the mutant babies if they don't drop their weapons. And this is where we see Cable waste all 5 of them like it's nothing. And as they fall to the ground, some of them still alive, moaning for help, yelling, groaning. The babies are floating safe because of Rachel. And then Cable grabs the leader and takes what he wants from his mind to find out exactly where the other children are, because there's still 5 missing. And this is when he sees something that terrifies him. It's his evil clone, Strife. And Rachel asks what he saw, and he says nothing. You're like, now's not the time to talk about it. We've gotten these children safe. Let's get back and regroup. So Cable and Rachel arrive back home, and they're about to sit down and eat dinner, but Cable says he needs to leave. He's got to go, eat on the run, because there's still mutants out there that need rescuing. And Rachel tries to talk to him to try to find out exactly what's going on with him. But right now he's being a closed book. He doesn't want to tell anybody exactly what's going on here. That it's his arch nemesis that's actually stealing these babies. And this is where we pick up a little bit later with Cable sitting at a bar, and he's gone to somebody for help because he needs to change his luck. Because not only are 5 mutant babies still missing, he has to deal with his future self, the other guy, as he puts it, Strife. So who better to turn to than Domino? And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, I have to say this was a lot of fun. We saw Cable go in and take on these religious zealots with a tactful aggressiveness. And then we find out that his evil clone is really the one behind all of this, behind the kidnapped mutants. And it's really seeming like the whole worshipping mutant thing was just a cover to begin with to have people steal these mutant babies. I really am enjoying seeing Cable, though. We're seeing him in multiple different runs right now. Like I said earlier, we're seeing him in the King in Black, currently as a symbiote, but he's also in Sword, and he's running head of security for Sword's operations. And so we're really seeing him take up the mantle, not of his parents, but of a leader who is needed within Krakoa. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out our Patreon. It's newly set up and it has a bunch of exclusives. I know some of you guys were asking about that, so if you want to support the channel in that way, go ahead and check out the link in the description. If you're really into podcasts, go ahead and check out Comic Breakdown and More Podcasts, which is available on Spotify and iTunes, anywhere you get your podcasts. We drop new episodes every Friday covering all the comic pools we do during the week, as well as all movie-related issues, movie, cinema, you name it, we're going to be covering it. And until the next video.